Welcome back. My name is Jules. And again, we've been working on two scenes from Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. Um, Remember to put your questions and your comments below. And maybe include what scenes you would like us to dive into, what scenes you'd like us to work on here. If you have any that you're curious about, that you'd like to learn more about. Yeah, please put those in the comments as well. And again, if you have enjoyed these sessions, please hit that like button. Tonight is the final session. However, everything that you see tonight is a work in progress. It is not a final performance. This is just the next step. And next up in the rehearsal room, we have Nick Cagle directing two scenes from Shakespeare's Macbeth, examining the relationship between husband and wife surrounding Duncan's murder, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. So be sure to subscribe and click for notifications. You can still support the project via Patreon and get early access to all the sessions, plus a few other perks starting at just $5 a month. And again, thank you so much to our patrons at the co-star level and higher: Joan, Michele, Christian, Jim, Magdalen, Ivar, Claudia, Clif, and Jeff. Thank you so much to everyone. It has been a pleasure hosting. And then save time afterwards, we will be doing a little Q&A. And with that, I am going to toss the reins over to Paul.
Thank you, Jules.
Have fun.
Hello, everyone. As Jules just implied or referred to, this will be a shorter session. We're going to stop at about 9:30 instead of 10. So that anyone who's watching has questions, we can try to address them, and Jules will be moderating that exchange. Todd, all the three actors, did you all see? Well, no, this is really for Todd. Todd, did you see Gideon's email about pronouncing Syrah or Surah?
I did, yeah.
Cool. Which basically is pronounce it any way you like.
Yeah.
Gideon,
After a lot of nerding around.
But that's what we are here for, is to be nerds.
Yep.
I'm about to ask you, Gideon, if you have any more thoughts from last week, but what was the great vowel shift of the 15th century? What was that?
Well, it's mysterious, I think, and there are arguments about it, but essentially the vowels as we pronounce them when we're reading Chaucer writes in Middle English, and the vowels that as we pronounce them when we're reading Chaucer are not as we pronounce them or as we believe Shakespeare pronounced them a couple of hundred years later. All of the vowels seem to have shifted to the long from shorter. So the word house, the word hoose is the way Chaucer would pronounce it, and by Shakespeare's time it was already closer to house. Gos was the way Chaucer pronounced it. By Shakespeare's time it was closer to goose. And we have stayed fairly close to Shakespeare's pronunciation so far as we can tell. There are lots of theories about it, but there's a great diagram that professors draw about how the vowels all shift to the longer. And so I have had to teach people reading Chaucer to go backwards and learn how to pronounce the vowels differently in Chaucer than we do in Shakespeare. So that's a short version of the great vowel shift. And if you want to know more about it, you have to go study the people who have studied the history of the English language, which is a very rich and complicated art of study. And a lot of it speculative, of course.
And continues.
There's a really great I'm sorry.
And continues to evolve, does it not? Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a
against-
really great podcast on the history of the English language called The History of English. It's fantastic. It's so nerdy. I love it. There's over like 150 episodes, and he's in Shakespeare now. So
Right.
it's a long way to go.
Gideon, you said that we're closer to the way that Shakespeare pronounced the vowels. Have we continued to lengthen them since then, in those 400 years?
I don't know if we've lengthened them, but we sometimes, for example, sometimes Shakespeare will do a rhyme that we have to consider an I rhyme instead of an exact rhyme. But for him, it's an exact rhyme, like
Yeah.
Like good and blood?
yes. So it would have been closer to God and blood. You can sort of hear it in the outskirts of the British Isles if you listen to Irish or Scots or Welsh pronunciations. You sometimes get a sense of an older pronunciation of the vowels. In fact, there's a whole variety of dialectic pronunciations in the British Isles, which was made fun of in My Fair Lady, if you remember the song. But there are even people in the Ozarks that people have studied and thought to have preserved Shakespearean pronunciation, Elizabethan pronunciation of certain vowel sounds and words. But
Unintentionally, I would imagine.
yeah, no, unintentionally, just because they've been, isolated in the mountains since they came.
Isn't there some Tidewater accents around the Chesapeake Bay that they think
Yes.
similarly?
Yes, yes, and when you say they think, it all of this has to be taken with a little bit of skepticism, not necessarily a grain of salt. It's not meant to be funny, but it's hard to know for sure. We have to go by spellings and rhymes, and it's a tricky business. But in any case, I recommend that people do Shakespeare in modern pronunciations where possible, except where they need to adjust slightly for rhymes or stresses. And that's because it sounds pretentious if you're trying to imitate Shakespearean speech on the modern stage. And you don't want that to get in the way of the meaning of the words. That said, I make my students memorize the first 18 lines of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales in the Middle English pronunciation, just so they have an ear for it, because a lot of the rhymes, Chaucer writes in rhymed couplets, and a lot of the rhymes depend on hearing the right vowel. So I prepare them that way. But if you were going to do, Shakespeare on the stage, you want to do it in a way that people can follow it.
It's Ben Crystal, David Crystal, and Ben
David and
Crystal.
Ben
They've made some videos where performing some of Shakespeare and what they think is probably close to the original pronunciations.
Yes, and if you listen to them, you find out two things. Number one, it's very interesting, and number two, if you had to listen to a whole play like that, you'd shoot them because it's so distracting.
I thought that they did at least one full production of one of the plays.
They did, yes.
Yeah, it's a father and son, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They've done a wonderful book. I don't know if you know about this book.
Oh yeah.
Everybody must have this. Yeah, that's it. So it's full of useful information. But I don't entirely buy their pronunciation theory. Some of it I do, some of it I don't. And when I hear it, some of it just sounds misleading, and other parts of it sound persuasive and convincing. So, but as I say, it's not a hard science.
I'm rehearsing Romeo and Juliet right now, and there's a one of the actresses I think it's her first Shakespeare, and she asked me because she's got a couplet that clearly used to rhyme and doesn't rhyme anymore.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What do you do? Do you say it as a rhyme?" And I was like, "No, you really don't."
My teaching usually is you can fudge a little bit. You don't bring it as wide apart as we would. You don't make it identical. You kind of fudge so they know it's a rhyme, even though it doesn't sound identical. And by the way, you want to stress Juliet on the first syllable.
Juliet, yeah.
I don't think anywhere in the play it's Juliet.
Tell her that, Todd.
Well, they're both stresses.
It's a 2-syllable word. It's not a 3-syllable word. It's
Juliet.
Juliet rather than Juliet.
Interesting. Cool.
But that's a different play.
Yeah.
Todd, you're playing Lord Capulet. Is that what you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Todd, I found out on Friday I did not get cast in that show in DC, but I still want to see you play Capulet.
Dang. Their loss.
Well,
it's okay.
No, I'm not sure that it's their loss.
Oh, please.
At least one of us got cast in something. Michele just got cast in something. So
yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, let's jump in. Normally, this would be the week. Actually, last week would have been the week that I would have said, let's do some scansion and work on the verse. But there is no verse. So I say we blast through it once. I'll give some notes. We'll see where we are on timing. We'll work out where the stage directions are going to come in, where you're going to exit this frame and enter the frame. And that should take us to 8 o'clock. And then we do it, and that should take us to 8:30, and then we open up for Q&A. How do you feel about that agenda?
Sounds good.
Good.
I would say in the absence of looking at meter, one of the things you could look at while we're doing this is alliteration and other consonant and vowel repetitions, because though it's prose, it's Shakespeare, and therefore it's poetical.
Excellent point. Yeah, let's keep an eye out for those. Yeah, let's go through it once, and let's try not to stop. If you have to stop, stop, but let's try not to stop. Let's see what happens. Well, and I am going to be reading stage directions.
Okay. What, John? What, Robert?
Quickly, quickly. Is the buck basket?
I warrant. What, Robert, I say?
Enter John and Robert with a large laundry or buck basket.
Come, come, come.
Here, set it down.
Give your men the charge. We must be brief.
Mary, as I told you before, John and Robert, be ready here hard by in the brew house. And when I suddenly call you, come forth, and without any pause or staggering, take this basket on your shoulders. That done, trudge with it in all haste and carry it among the Winsters in Datchet Mead, and there empty it in the muddy ditch close by the Thames side.
You will do it.
I had told them over and over. They lack no direction. Be gone and come when you are called.
Ah, here comes little Robin.
How now, my ice musket? What news with you?
My master, Sir John, has come in at your back door, Mistress Ford, and requests your company.
You little jack-o'-lent. Have you been true to us?
Aye, I'll be sworn. My master knows not of your being here, and hath threatened to put me into everlasting liberty if I tell you of it. For he swears he'll turn me away.
Thou art a good boy. This secrecy of thine shall be a tailor to thee, and shall make thee a new doublet and hose. Oh, I'll go hide me.
Do so. Go tell thy master I am alone. Mistress Page, remember you your cue.
I warrant thee, if I do not act it, hiss me.
Go to then. We'll use this unwholesome humidity, this gross, watery pumpkin. We'll teach him to know turtles from jays.
Have I caught thee, my heavenly jewel? Why, now let me die, for I have lived long enough. This is the period of my ambition. Oh, this blessed hour.
Oh, sweet Sir John.
Mistress Ford, I cannot cog, I cannot prate, Mistress Ford. Now shall I sin in my wish. I would thy husband were dead. I'll speak it before the best lord. I would make thee my lady.
I, your lady, Sir John. Alas, I should be a pitiful lady.
Let the court of France show me such another. I see how thine eye would emulate the diamond. Thou hast the right arched beauty of the brow that becomes the ship tire, the tire valiant, or any tire of Venetian admittance.
A plain kerchief, Sir John. My brow has become nothing else, nor that well neither.
Thou art a tyrant to say so. Thou wouldst make an absolute courtier, and the firm fixture of thy foot would give an excellent motion to thy gait in a semicircled farthingale. I see what thou wert, if fortune thy foe were, not nature, thy friend. Come, thou canst not hide it.
Believe me, there's no such thing in me.
What made me love thee? Let that persuade thee. There's something extraordinary in thee. Come, I cannot cog and say thou art this and that, like a many of these lisping hawthorn buds that come like women in men's apparel and smell like bucklers bury in simple time. I cannot, but I love thee, none but thee, and thou deservest it.
Do not betray me, sir. I fear you love Mistress Page.
Oh, thou mightst as well say I love to walk by the counter gate, which is as hateful to me as the reek of a lime kiln.
Well, heaven knows how I love you, and you shall one day find it.
Keep in that mind. I'll deserve it.
Nay, I must tell you, so you do, or else I could not be in that mind.
Mistress Ford, here's Mistress Page at the door, sweating and blowing and looking wildly, and would need speak with you presently.
She shall not see me. I will ensconce me behind the arras.
Pray you do so. She's a very tattling woman. What's the matter? How now?
Oh, Mistress Ford, what have you done? You're shamed, you're overthrown, you're undone forever.
What's the matter, good Mistress Page?
Oh, well a day, Mistress Ford, having an honest man to your husband to give him such cause of suspicion.
Cause of suspicion.
What cause of suspicion? Out upon you. Oh, how I am mistooken you.
Why, alas, what's the matter?
Your husband's coming hither, woman, with all the officers in Windsor to search for a gentleman that he says is here now in the house by your consent to take an ill advantage of his absence. You are undone.
'Tis not so, I hope.
Oh, pray heaven it be not so, that you have such a man here. But 'tis most certain your husband's coming with half Windsor at his heels to search for such a one. I come before to tell you. If you know yourself clear, why, I am glad of it. If you have a friend here, convey him out. Be not amazed. Call all your senses to you. Defend your reputation, or bid farewell to your good life forever.
Shall I do? There is a gentleman, my dear friend. I fear not mine own shame so much as his peril. I had rather than £1,000 he were out of the house.
Oh, never stand that. You had rather and you had rather. Your husband's here at hand. Bethink you of some conveyance. In the house you cannot hide him. Oh, how you have deceived me. Look, here is a basket. If he be of any reasonable stature, he may creep in here and throw foul linen upon him as if it were going to bucking. Or, it is whiting time, send him by your 2 men to Datchet Mead.
He's too big to go in there. What shall I do?
Let me see it. Let me see it. Oh, let me see it. I'll in. I'll in. Follow your friend's counsel. I'll in.
What? Sir John? Sir John Falstaff? Were those your letters, knight?
I love thee, Mistress Page. Help me away. Let me creep in here. I'll never.
Mistress Page pushes Falstaff into the basket and they cover him with dirty clothes.
Help to cover your master, Robin. Call your men, Mistress Ford. Oh, you dissembling knight.
What, John? Robert? John?
Enter Robert and John.
Go, take up these clothes here quickly. Where's the cowstaff? How you drumble! Carry them to the laundress in Datchet Mead. Quickly, come!
Enter Ford and his entourage.
Pray you come near. If I suspect without cause, why then make sport at me. Then let me be your jest. I deserve it. How now? Whither bear you this?
Why, what have you to do whether they bear it? You were best meddle with buck-washing.
Buck? I could wash if I would, I could wash myself of the buck. Buck. Aye, Buck. I warrant you, Buck. And of the season, too, it shall appear.
Robert and John exit with the buck basket.
Up, gentlemen, you shall see sport anon. Follow me, gentlemen.
Is there not a double excellency in this?
I know not which pleases me better, that my husband is deceived or Sir John.
What a taking was he in when your husband asked who was in the basket?
I am half afraid he will have need of a washing, so throwing him into the water will do him a benefit.
Hang him, dishonest rascal. I would all of the same strain were in the same distress.
I think my husband hath some special suspicion of Falstaff's being here, for I never saw him so gross in his jealousy till now.
I will lay a plot to try that, and we will yet have more tricks with Falstaff. His dissolute disease will scarce obey this medicine.
Shall we send that foolish carrion mistress quickly to him and excuse his throwing into the water and give him another hope to betray him to another punishment?
We will do it. Let him be sent for tomorrow, 8 o'clock, to have amends.
Act 4, Scene 2.
Mistress Ford, your sorrow hath eaten up my sufferance. I see you are obsequious in your love, and I profess requital to a hair's breadth, not only, Mistress Ford, in the simple office of love, but in all the accoutrement, compliment, and ceremony of it. But are you sure of your husband now?
He's a birding, sweet Sir John.
What ho, Gossip Ford, what ho?
Step into the chamber, Sir John.
How now, sweetheart? Who's at home beside yourself?
Oh, why, none but mine own people.
Indeed?
No, certainly. Speak louder.
Truly, I am glad you have nobody here.
Why?
Why, woman, Your husband is in his old loons again. He so takes on yonder with my husband, so rails against all, so rails against all married mankind, so curses all Eve's daughters of what complexion soever, and so buffets himself on the forehead, crying, peer out, that any madness I ever yet beheld seemed but tameness, civility, and patience. To this his distemper he is in now. I am glad the fat knight is not here.
Why, does he talk of him?
Of none but him, and swears he was carried out the last time he searched for him in a basket. Protests to my husband he is now here, and hath drawn him and the rest of their company from their sport to make another experiment of his suspicion. But I am glad the knight is not here. Now he shall see his own foolery.
How near is he, Mistress Page?
Hard by, at street end. He will be here anon.
I am undone! The knight is here!
Why then, you are utterly shamed, and he's but a dead man. Oh, what a woman are you! Away with him, away with him! Better shame than murder.
Which way should he go? How should I bestow him? Shall I put him into the basket again?
No, I'll come no more in the basket. May not I go out ere he come?
Alas, 3 of Master Ford's brothers watch the door with pistols, that none shall issue out. Otherwise you might slip away ere he came. But what make you here?
What shall I do? I'll creep up into the chimney.
There they always used to discharge their birding pieces.
Creep into the kill hole.
Where is it?
He will seek there, on my word. Neither press, coffer, chest, trunk, well, vault, but he hath an abstract for the remembrance of such places, and goes to them by his note. There is no hiding you in the house.
I'll go out then.
If you go out in your own semblance, you die, Sir John.
Oh.
Unless you go out disguised.
How might we disguise him?
Alas, the day I know not. There is no woman's gown big enough for him. Otherwise he might put on a hat, a muffler, and a kerchief, and so escape.
Good hearts, devise something, any extremity, rather than a mischief.
My maid's aunt, the fat woman of Brentford, has a gown above.
On my word, it will serve him. She's as big as he is. And there's a thrummed hat and a muffler too. Run up, Sir John.
Go, sweet Sir John. Mistress Page and I will look some linen for your head.
Quick. We'll come dress you straight. Put on the gown the while.
I would my husband would meet him in this shape. He cannot abide the old woman of Brentford. He swears she's a witch, forbade her my house, and hath threatened to beat her.
Heaven guide him to thy husband's cudgel, and the devil died his cudgel afterwards.
But is my husband coming?
Aye, in good sadness is he, and talks of the basket too. Howsoever he hath had intelligence.
We'll try that, for I'll appoint my men to carry the basket again to meet him at the door with it as they did last time.
Nay, but he'll be here presently. Let's go dress him like the witch of Brentford.
I'll first direct my men what they shall do with the basket. Go up, I'll bring linen for him straight.
Hang him, dishonest varlet. We cannot misuse him enough. We'll leave a proof by that which we will do. Wives may be merry, and yet honest too. We do not act that often jest and laugh. 'Tis old but true. Still swine eat all the draught.
Mistress Ford returns with Robert and John, who bring the buck basket.
Go, sirs, take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master is hard at door. If he bid you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch.
Enter Ford with his friends.
Set down the basket, villain. Come hither, Mistress Ford. Mistress Ford, the honest woman, the modest wife, the virtuous creature that hath the jealous fool to her husband. Suspect without cause, mistress, do I?
Heaven be my witness, you do, if you suspect me in any dishonesty.
Well said, brazen face. Hold it out. Come forth, sirrah.
Are you not ashamed? Let the clothes alone.
I shall find you anon. Empty the basket, I say.
Why, man, why?
As I am a man, there was one conveyed out of my house yesterday in this basket. Why may not he be there again? In my house, I am sure he is. My intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable. Pluck me out all the linen.
If you find a man there, he shall die a flea's death.
Robert and John empty the basket.
Well, he's not here. I seek for.
Robert and John refill the basket and carry it off.
What ho, Mistress Page! Come you and the old woman down. My husband will come into the chamber.
Old woman? What old woman's that?
Why, it is my maid's aunt of Brentford.
A witch, a queen, an old cousin queen. Have I not forbade her my house? She comes of errands, does she? We are simple men. We do not know what's brought to pass under the profession of fortune-telling. She works by charms, by spells, by the figure, and such daubery as this beyond our element. We know nothing. Come down, you witch, you hag, you. Come down, I say.
Nay, good sweet husband, good gentleman, let him not strike the old woman.
Enter Mrs. Page with Sir John disguised as an old woman.
Come, Mother Pratt. Come, give me your hand.
Brat her. Out of my door, you witch, you rag, you baggage, you polecat, you runion. Out, out, I'll conjure you. I'll fortune tell you.
Are you not ashamed? I think you've killed the poor woman.
Nay, he will do it. 'Tis goodly credit for you.
Hang her, witch. Will you follow, gentlemen?
Ford and his friends exit.
Trust me, he beat him most pitifully.
Nay, by the mass, that he did not. He beat him most unpitifully, methought.
I'll have the cudgel hallowed and hung o'er the altar. It hath done meritorious service.
Thank you. May we, with the warrant of womanhood and the witness of a good conscience, pursue him with any further revenge?
The spirit of wantonness is sure scared out of him. If the devil not have him not in fee simple with fine and recovery, he will never, I think, in the way of waste, attempt us again.
Shall we tell our husbands how we have served him?
Yes, by all means, if it be but to scrape the figures out of your husband's brains. If they can find in their hearts the poor unvirtuous fat knight shall be any further afflicted, we too will still be the ministers.
I warrant they'll have him publicly shamed, and methinks there would be no period to the jest should he not be publicly shamed.
Come to the forge with it, then shape it. I would not have things cool.
Lovely. You're still on camera, Todd. It was fun to watch you try to figure out your lines. Lovely.
Okay.
That was 21 minutes. About right. Thoughts?
Paul, you're not on camera.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thoughts, Gideon? Let's start with you.
Okay, I have a few notes. Nothing drastic. So line 73.
Which scene?
It's the first one. I'm going from the beginning.
Okay.
Line 73 in the first scene. Bucklersbury in simple time. I think you get this, Todd. First of all, Todd, that was brilliant. Your Falstaff is brilliant. I want to see you do Henry IV Part 1 on the stage as Falstaff. Just absolutely fabulous. Simples are the herbs and minerals and plants that people who are doing doctoring combine to make medicines of various kinds. And the simples have these complex powers, like if you, the friar in Romeo and Juliet talks about he's gathering flowers, and he points out that in this weed, if you smell it, it revives you, and if you eat it, it kills you. That's so simple time is the time of harvest when people are selling these herbs in Bucklersbury Lane, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's
It's a very strong smell.
yeah, right. Okay. Line 103 is
And so Gideon, the operative word there is simple.
well, I want Todd not to have to labor the word simple. It's just the period of the year when they sell simples in Bucklersbury Lane.
Bucklersbury.
And if he knows that, then it's fine. Mistress Page, you said how I am mistaken you. It's how am I mistaken you?
Yes, sorry.
Line 127, similar thing. Oh, how have you deceived me?
How have you deceived me? Okay.
Not how you have deceived me.
Okay.
One, not too important, but just to correct. Look how you drumble was Mistress Ford. You left out the look. 185. Oh, this is for 2 times I hear this. For I never saw him so gross in his jealousy till now. I think it'll be easier to conceive of this if by jealousy you mean suspicion.
Okay.
Jealousy is a kind of more global quality that he's got, which is true. He does have that. But what you mean here is specifically suspicion, and Shakespeare used the word jealousy for both. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Line 18 of the next scene. You left out, Mistress Page, you left out the so. I'm glad you said. I don't know what you want to do with the word so, but it's there.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Line 27, you get quiet, sort of. And the same happens in around line 35. And so we're losing the idea that she's talking loud so Falstaff in the next room can hear.
Yes, I have this note too.
Oh, okay.
So you just have to remember that your whole speech has to include Falstaff as the audience.
Right, right.
Okay, line 49 of the second scene, Falstaff. Oh, you transposed also may I not instead of may not I.
I'm sorry, line again?
Line 49.
Right after
Or 48.
May I not go out? Here he come. Okay.
Yeah. Line 75, Mistress Ford. I've heard you many times now hit the my in my maid's aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt. And it just seems to me too heavy a hit for the meaning of the line.
Okay.
So try to push the stress toward aunt.
Yes. Okay.
And then build into the fat woman of Brentford. That's
Okay.
that's the main thing we've got to know is she's the fat woman.
Okay.
94. Mistress Ford, we'll try that. Hit try because try means test.
We'll test. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have that note.
You hit the that, but I want to try. And 107, still swine, Mistress Page, still swine eats, plural, all the draft, or singular verb, eats all the draft.
Okay.
Minor, it doesn't change the meaning really. Line 131, again, here's hath the jealous fool to her husband. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was Todd Ford says, I suspect without cause, mistress, do I? You just left out the I for perfectly understandable reasons.
Okay.
But he repeats it. So there's a kind of ego thing there. So I think that's why it's there. You get me?
Yes.
I'm 131.
Yeah.
Hath a jealous fool to her husband? I suspect without cause, mistress, do I?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because the repetition is
Yeah.
dramatic. 148. Here again, Ford, Mr. Ford, my intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable. Here you also mean suspicion on this occasion.
Suspicion. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Okay, that'll just make it sound clearer. And then the last one is 176. Oh, you left out the is. Such daubery as this is.
Ah. Okay.
None of these things are major problems. The scene was great, like it
Yeah.
worked.
Yep.
So all of these, everything I've said here is subtle tweaking to just make it
Yep.
crisp.
Um,
Okay, that's it.
Line 148 again, Gideon.
Yeah.
I don't want, it's not about right or wrong, but would it be more impactful if the operative words were true and reasonable and not intelligence and jealousy?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you
As
think,
long as
Todd?
as long as jealousy means suspicion, then yes, he's trying to proclaim that he's justified in this.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Todd?
Give me the line again. I can't find it.
My intelligence is true,
148
my
in the
jealousy
second
is
scene.
reasonable. 148-ish.
My intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable.
Yeah. To me, I feel like we get more out of the line if true and reasonable is the point of what you're saying, and not intelligence and jealousy.
It's even more complicated. It's because my intelligence is true, therefore my jealousy is reasonable.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like you're saying, don't lie to me. I know the truth.
Yep. Because I think that's also what he's stressing there, because his wife thinks he's crazy.
Right.
He came in the other time saying the fat knight's here, and he wasn't.
Mhm.
And he was in the basket. Oh, sure, he was in the basket. Prove it. I'm not crazy. My intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable.
Yes, there you go. Which makes you sound even more ridiculous, which makes it funny.
Yeah.
And then you say something ridiculous like pluck out all the linen.
Speaking of plucking out all the linen, I thought you were going to say,
We switched it back.
what did we switch back?
I was going to say Robert and John empty the basket there after pluck out all the linen, but we switched it back because we tried it once and it was weird.
No, not that one. It's before that. I said, well said, brazen face. Hold it out. Come forth, sirrah. I thought you were going to say that stage direction. He pulls clothes out of the basket.
I had not marked that one, but I can say it. That's easy. I'm marking it
Because I think it's helpful for the audience to know that that's what he's doing right there.
Okay.
And that's another thing. That's why I'm just like going like this. And Mistress Ford is like, are you not ashamed? What are you doing? Let the clothes alone.
Yeah.
She even references it. Yeah.
Which is why I thought we didn't need it, because
Which is why you thought we didn't need it.
But it gives her something to work with. She can.
Yes, I'll say it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Corinna. Maybe that's what you were waiting for too.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say it, but yeah. So you are going to say it this time?
I am going to say it.
Okay.
While we're in this little section, this is really out of order, but while I don't mean rude, I mean out of sequence. if you find a man there, he shall die a flea's death.
Mhm.
I think Mistress Ford can say that with so much more confidence and
Okay.
condescension, if you want, because you know there's no man in there.
Mhm.
He is making an absolute ass of himself in front of his friends. You can have as much fun as you want with that,
Okay.
I think. It can be dismissive, it can be condescending or whatever, but it's not nonchalant.
Okay.
Yeah, that may not be the right word, but it's not a throwaway line. You can have fun with that line.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going back to my top of page now. First of all, I will say Act 3, Scene 3. I forgot to say that. I forgot to mark that one until I said Act 4, Scene 2, and I realized I forgot to say it. So I will start the final read with that, and then you guys can turn on your cameras.
Are you going to say the John line in the second scene at 1:11, basically? Pray heaven it be not full of night again.
Oh crap! Yes, thank you.
That hasn't been cut. Okay, I wonder. I thought maybe no. All right.
It has not been cut. I
wondered the same thing.
Thank you, everybody. I just forgot. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Line 112.
112. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mark it. Okay, there it is. Okay, back to the top. So, well, here was my next question, which will also refer to John. Do you all think we need to see Robin and John or just hear them? Don't all speak at once, please.
I think you can just hear them. I think you can get away with just hearing them.
Okay. That makes me very happy. Because I'm trying to follow and read stage directions and go in and out. Plus, I don't look like a.
But I would defer to the actors if they need that or not.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I'm just trying to look at the camera. So,
but
yeah.
So Michele, I think you speak to Robin more. Right. Well, you both the ladies speak to Robin. Would you like to see him?
Michele, you're mute.
I would like to see Robin.
Would, yes, would?
Yes.
Okay. And so we should also, if we're seeing Robin, then we should also see John.
Oh, I don't think that necessarily follows.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, John and Robert don't have to be seen, but Robin probably. Right? Is that right, Michele?
Yes.
Well, what I'm wondering is, if you hear John's voice and you don't see him, well, it doesn't matter. I was going to say, you might think it's Robin speaking, but if you see him, it's the same person playing Robin, so you might think that anyway.
And Robin responds to us, and John and Robert mostly are like appear to not even be responding to what like we're ordering them to do. So I think if they're not visible, it's Robin actually has a kind of back and forth. You know, he answers us, and
Okay, so let's not see John. Well, but see, thing is, he's alone on stage because Mrs. Ford says her piece and leaves.
What line is that?
112. Why don't we just cut it? What do you think?
Oh, we're in the second scene?
Yeah. Second scene, 112.
Oh, I see. Pray heaven it not be full of night again.
Pray heaven it be not full of night again. Yeah.
So you don't have to be seen there because you can be.
No one's on screen. No one's on screen if you're not seeing me, because Mrs. Ford just exited.
Oh, I see.
And there's something, and then maybe there should be somebody for Ford to speak to.
Well, Ford is speaking to his friends when he walks in.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm speaking
he's talking to John. Set the
talking to John. I'm speaking to them
Oh,
with the
right.
basket.
Right,
Mm.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Wait, you don't go out yet though, right? Ford doesn't go out.
No.
So
This isn't Ford's entrance. Ford enters and immediately sees the
you're
basket.
right. So
Yeah.
there's no way of
Yeah, I exit, then there's the line, then Ford enters. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't have an easy solution. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's try something. Let's try cutting the line. Let's try Mistress Ford saying quickly dispatch and exiting, and as Ford, let's have Mistress Ford not exit.
Okay.
So Mrs. Ford says, quickly dispatch. Ford, the stage direction says Ford enters with his friends. Ford says, set down the basket, villain. And his next line is, come hither, Mrs. Ford. Let's just pretend that she never left. How y'all feel about that?
So Mistress Ford is holding the basket?
No, we're going to pretend that John is on stage, but we're not going to see him. We're not going to hear him either.
Okay. So you're cutting Pray Heaven It Be Not Full of Night again?
I think so. And so, Mistress Ford, let's pretend if we were on stage, you would have entered stage right through the front door, and she would be standing stage left, about to go exit, to go set up the plan, or to go dress Falstaff, but you catch her, and you go, whoa. Come here for a second. Let me talk to you.
yeah, I think that moves better. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So just don't exit and don't do that line.
Right.
Okay.
So we don't ever have blank screen.
Okay.
You're cutting a joke? Your joke, Paul?
I can let go of that joke. Okay, I'm going back to my list.
We lost Michele.
Mhm.
Is she frozen?
No, she's just gone. Like she's dropped off my screen completely.
Yeah, but she's still in the participants list. She's here. Oh no, she's not. She's gone.
I don't even see her. I mean, I didn't even see her screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's gone. The fifth person on the list is Juls. Okay. This is gonna end up in the edit. So okay, I'm going back to the top of my list. Corinna,
yes.
you can have more fun with talking to John and Robert. Remember we said that she has told them at least 3 times. She's told them the plan, but Mrs. Page is not convinced that they're going to get it, and to be honest, you're not convinced either.
Okay.
So you can have fun with telling them again. Like you can go, you're going to open the door, and then you're going, and you can be like in their face, right? And you're going to do this, and then you're going to push it, right? And you're still not sure they're getting it. So that, which makes Mrs. Page go, you are going to do it, yes?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and we said, yes, we do need to see Robin, so I will make that entrance. I'm just checking off what I'm thinking. Mistress Ford, there's Michele. Hi.
Can I just add, Corinna, that it might help just to think about this as the normal day that they take the laundry basket out is not what they're doing. You're telling them to go against the norm.
Yes. Okay. This is not your routine.
I understand that, but just do what I'm telling you. Also, they normally don't dump the basket into the,
Right.
the muddy ditch.
Mhm.
So you're building a case to convince them.
Yes, exactly. I
Okay.
know this sounds weird, guys, but just do it.
Yes.
Let us find some places, Corinna, where you
Mhm.
can hiss.
That was my one big question. So, because I don't have that many lines, like it's mostly Falstaff talking there. So I have believe me, there's no such thing. So I could be like,
Oh, well, yes, you could do that.
or do you want me to just hiss like after the line, sort of? Or
Yeah.
that's what I was.
So it could start on the line a plain kerchief because he's getting
Okay.
he's getting pretty handsy.
Okay.
Uh,
So do you want me to try to hiss within the words, I guess was my thing, or just like end the line?
so
Or that one either.
if we could pull it off so that it starts with words and then you just go straight to hissing, that might be funny. So
Okay.
for example, my brows become nothing else,
Okay.
nor that well neither.
Okay.
Did I miss something? What is this hissing?
Mrs. Page says if I don't answer my cue, hiss me.
Oh,
So we're trying to incorporate
which
some
means-
hissing into the.
Which means if I don't play my part right, be a good audience member and hiss me off the stage. But it also means you can go psst to get me to show up.
okay. So we're not implying that Mistress Page is failing in her acting, right?
No, but she wants her to enter.
Okay, so
Because
we
Falstaff
need
is
to
getting
hear
too close.
psst as different from hissing her off the stage because she's a bad actor.
Right.
So
Okay.
there's a difference.
If you could try one on the else, and then wait, yes, and then your next line is believe me, there's no such thing in me. After that, or after believe me, you could go psst.
Okay.
Or as Shakespeare might say, hust.
Hust.
Whost.
Probably PSST is better for our audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is you try it in a word, else.
Okay.
And the second one is you just say psst
Right.
because she didn't hear you. And then the third one, you just yell her name.
I'm
she's
yelling
not
Mistress Page. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
While we're there, Todd,
Yeah.
what's another way that what made me love you could be interpreted? Because right now it sounds like when you entered the scene, oh, my love, I have found you. You are with the most beautiful bird, with the most beautiful feathers. When I wonder if it should be, what do you mean you're not special? How would someone like me ever love you if you weren't special? I think, isn't that what you mean? This is an open discussion. I'm not trying to be prescriptive.
What made me love thee? Let that.
If not, what made me love you?
Right. She says there's no such thing in me. And it is such a conceited thing to say.
Basically, it's like, I don't know how, but in their day, sometimes he leaves out words. We would say, then what made me love thee?
Exactly.
Correct.
Exactly. Just leave out the then.
Yeah.
It's
An argument. He's making an argument.
Right. It's something that Arthur Fonzarelli would say.
What made me, yeah. Let that persuade thee. Yeah.
Here's proof that
Clearly, there's something in you that made me fall in love with you.
a guy like me, someone as special as me.
It's called money. I mean, what?
Beauty. Not money, I swear, it's beauty.
Uh-oh. Is my computer about to die? Give me a second. Don't die on me. Are we back? Yes, I am in business. Okay, great. And Todd,
Yeah.
Oh, and let's just add to that line, the that in the next sentence is that fact that I came to love you because of your beauty. Let that persuade you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
and I will protect you after the reading is over from Gideon's wrath if you want to break the pronoun laws in What Made Me Love Thee. If you want to hit the me, we won't see Gideon after tonight, so he will not be able to reach through the screen and
No, I don't want
You're
I don't want to hit that.
underestimating my fierce power here.
I don't want to hit that. I think that muddies the waters.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear.
I know that this is for Corinna, but I don't remember where this note is.
Because Paul, how could I look at Ellen O'Brien in the face again if I did that? I don't.
True. Ellen and Gideon would be best friends, I think. Oh, I know what this is, Corinna.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you do. So you do right now is sounding like, nay, I should tell you this so that you know it. But what you're saying is, oh, yes, sir, you do deserve how much I love you.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't, that needs to be separated
Okay.
from.
It'll help to understand that the so means oh, you do.
Because he says, you say, only God knows how much I love you, which is sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know it's sarcasm. And he goes, I'll deserve your love. And you're saying, oh, yes.
You do deserve my love.
You do deserve the way I love you.
The way I love
Way
you.
I love you, right. Okay.
You SOB.
So means, so has the full meaning of that, the true way that I really love you, which is that I hate you. Or I'm furious with you.
Okay.
So if it helps to, it should help to think of it that way, but if it also helps to put a little bit of a separation between I must tell you and the next phrase, that might help too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like you're saying, oh, you definitely do. But Shakespeare gave you some other words before that to say it.
Right.
What's
So,
my
yeah, just so means deserve it. You do deserve it.
Michele, this is a question. Do you think Mistress Page has rehearsed a script, or is she just enjoying being an actor?
I think it's mostly improv. I mean, we have the general gist of what we're going to be doing, but I think she's really hamming some of it up quite a bit.
I think so. And if this doesn't work, let me see where I am. Nope, I'm not there yet. Never mind.
It's part of the merriness that they can come up with these terms on the spur of the moment. It's part of what makes them lovable.
I don't want to overdo this, but like if we were on stage, we might have some fun with, she would say, if you were going to Bucking, I might have Mistress Ford go, no, that's not what we were supposed to say. We have to go to Datchet Mead. And then you would go, oh, right. It's bleaching time. Let's send it. But we don't really have that sort of space. But I think Mistress Page is having so much fun, and sometimes she goes a little too far, maybe.
Yes.
What's my next thing? Todd. Wait, why do I write this down? How have you deceived me? I think this was one of the ones that Gideon mentioned. I think you said how you have deceived me. right?
Yeah, yes,
That was
I have that underlined now.
Foul linen, Michele, just make sure we hear that it's foul linen. That last time it sounded like one word.
What line is this?
I don't know. I just wrote foul linen in my notes.
Okay,
Foul linen, cover him with foul linen, I think.
that's probably in the first scene then.
130.
Yeah.
30.
Okay,
Yep, there it is.
I got it.
Foul linen. Todd, are you
And
doing
linen,
this?
just to clarify, linen is underwear.
Yes. Oh, so foul linen. Todd, are you gonna do the kisses, the attempted kisses? Or are you doing one?
Right, but that's at the beginning of the next scene, right?
Yeah, that was my next note. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
Wait, was there more than one? I thought it was just right before, but are you sure of your husband now?
I thought there was that one, and then there was another one when Mrs. Page goes, Mistress Ford. Is there only one? I don't care.
What ho, gossip Ford. Oh, I see. Right. Do it right. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And Michele, don't feel like you have to wait for the kisses. Your timing is perfect.
Okay. It's just whether my laptop obeys me.
Well, if not, Todd is going to smudge the screen. Corinna,
Mhm.
you can whisper, speak louder.
Okay.
I'm trying to speed through these. Here's where I thought, I don't know, this might be crazy. I may just leave this alone. I wondered if Mrs. Page was going off script. And when she says, I'm glad the fat knight is not here, Mistress Ford is waiting for you to say your husband's coming. And so Mistress Ford has to go, how near is he? Like to try to get back on script. I'm wondering if that would be funny. I don't know. And I had the same note that Gideon had, that those lines should be bigger. I'm glad the fat knight is not here. You said it twice.
For Falstaff, yeah.
Right. No, yeah. Forget where I was going with that. Never mind. As long as they're bigger. I think what will make it land is if those lines are bigger for him. And Mistress Ford is going, well, we need to really scare him. So I need to get you to say where my husband is. So how near is he?
Mm-hmm.
When Falstaff leaves the second time, you guys can crack up again. You can have another even bigger laugh because this is amazing.
Yeah, I had the same note.
Yeah, we'll try that. Gideon already gave that note. Still Swine eats all the draft. Todd, I like how you handled talking to your friends without inserting the word gentleman. Did you come up with something or did you just... It seemed to me like you looked elsewhere and it seemed to me like you're saying to your wife, my friends and I are simple men.
Yes.
We don't understand numbers and witchery and witchcraft and all that stuff.
Yes.
That works for me.
Great.
Because earlier, last week, we were saying, could you find a word to make it clear that you're talking to your friend?
Yeah.
I think what you did is fine.
Great.
Last note. Corinna, shall we tell our husbands how we have, excuse me, how we have whatever. I think what you mean is, and Gideon can correct me if I'm wrong, you don't mean, do you think we should tell them what we've done? I don't think that's what you mean. What you mean is, we were always going to tell them what we've done. What you mean is, do you think is now the good time to tell them?
Yes.
I think that's what you mean.
That's good.
Okay.
I had one more note, which I didn't write down. Todd, at 175, we do know what's brought to pass under the profession of fortune telling.
Yes.
So, fortune telling is telling the future, but it's not causing it. And he's accusing her of what she causes to happen, like a witch, under the guise of simply telling a fortune.
Okay.
So those can mean two different things. We don't know what's brought to pass under her professing to be just a fortune teller. As bad as that is, causing things to happen is worse.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good work, you guys.
It was really good. So Corinna, I don't want to belabor it, but the other option is you could be saying with that line, you could be saying, okay, why don't we go tell them? It could be that, or it could be, what do you think? Is now a good time to tell them? But you're not asking permission. I mean, there's no way you were not going to tell them.
Okay.
Would you all mind if we just take a few seconds and practice this where's the thing with John? Set down the basket, Dylan.
Oh,
Is that the first scene or second scene? Second scene.
second scene.
Where we're cutting the John line.
Line 110, or right around there.
Yes, thank you. So, Corinna, are you ready, Todd?
Yep.
Let's just practice this entrance.
Okay.
Where am I? Here we are. So I'm going to say Mistress Ford enters with John and Robert and the buck basket. And then let's go, Corinna, and we'll go to come hither, Mistress Ford. Yeah?
Yeah.
So go off stage, Todd. Mistress Ford enters with Robert and John and the buck basket.
Go, sirs, take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master is hard at door. If he bid you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch.
I'm sorry, are you not going to say enter? They enter?
Oh, I'm such a jackass. Sorry. See, this is why we practice. Thank you. One more time. One more time. One more time. Here we go. Mrs. Ford enters with Robert and John and the buck basket.
Go, sirs, take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master is hard at door. If he bid you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch.
Ford enters with his friends.
Set down the basket, villain. Come hither, Mistress Ford.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yep, sure.
All right. Questions, thoughts, complaints, criticisms? No?
You're not visible. That's my only criticism. There you are.
All right, let's rock and roll. What do you think? Yeah, everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, Todd, take it easy. All right, everybody go away and I'll do the stage direction and let's rock and roll. The Merry Wives of Windsor, Act 3, Scene 3.
What, John? What, Robert?
Quickly, quickly! Is the buck basket?
I warrant. What, Robert, I say?
Enter John and Robert with a large laundry or buck basket.
Come, come, come!
Here, set it down.
Give your men the charge. We must be brief.
Mary, as I told you before, John and Robert, be ready here hard by in the brew house. And when I suddenly call you, come forth, and without any pause or staggering, take this basket on your shoulders. That done, trudge with it in all haste and carry it among the Witsters in Datchet Mead, and there empty it in the muddy ditch close by the Thames side.
You will do it.
I had told them over and over, they lack no direction. Be gone and come when you are called.
John and Robert exit.
Here comes little Robin.
How now, my eyes musket? What news with you?
My master, Sir John, has come at your back door, Mrs. Ford, and requests your company.
You little jack-o'-lent. Have you been true to us?
Aye, I'll be sworn, my master knows not of your being here, and hath threatened to put me into everlasting liberty if I tell you of it. For he swears he'll turn me away.
Thou art a good boy. This secrecy of thine shall be a tailor to thee, and shall make thee a new doublet and hose. I'll go hide me.
Do so. Go tell thy master I'm alone. Mistress Page, remember you your cue.
I warrant thee. If I do not act it, hiss me.
Go to then. We'll use this unwholesome humidity, this gross, watery pumpkin. We'll teach him to know turtles from jays.
Have I caught thee, my heavenly jewel? Why, now let me die, for I have lived long enough. This is the period of my ambition, oh, this blessed hour.
Oh, sweet Sir John.
Mistress Ford, I cannot cog, I cannot prate, Mistress Ford. Now shall I sin in my wish. I would thy husband were dead. I'll speak it before the best lord. I would make thee my lady.
I, your lady, Sir John. Alas, I should be a pitiful lady.
Let the court of France show me such another. I see how thine eye would emulate the diamond. Thou hast the right arched beauty of the brow that becomes the ship tire, the tire valiant, or any tire of Venetian admittance.
A plain kerchief, Sir John. My brow has become nothing else, nor that well neither.
Thou art a tyrant to say so. Thou wouldst make an absolute courtier, and the firm fixture of thy foot would give an excellent motion to thy gait in a semicircled farthingale. I see what thou wert, if fortune thy foe were, not nature, thy friend. Come, thou canst not hide it.
Believe me, there's no such thing in me.
What made me love ye? Let that persuade thee. There's something extraordinary in thee. Come, I cannot cog and say thou art this and that, like many of these lisping hawthorn buds that come like women in men's apparel and smell like bucklersbury in simple time. I cannot. But I love thee, none but thee, and thou deservest it.
Do not betray me, sir. I fear you love Mistress Page.
Thou mightst as well say I love to walk by the counter gate, which is as hateful to me as the reek of a lime kiln.
Well, heaven knows how I love you, and you shall one day find it.
Keep in that mind. I'll deserve it.
Nay, I must tell you, so you do, or else I could not be in that mind.
Mistress Ford, Mistress Ford. Mistress Ford, Mistress Ford. Here's Mistress Page at the door, sweating and blowing and looking wildly, and would needs speak with you presently.
She shall not see me. I will ensconce me behind the arras.
Pray you do so. She's a very tattling woman.
Falstaff stands behind the arras.
What's the matter? How now?
Oh, Mistress Ford, what have you done? You're shamed, you're overthrown, you're undone forever.
What's the matter, good Mistress Page?
Oh, well a day, Mistress Ford, having an honest man to your husband, to give him such cause of suspicion.
What cause of suspicion?
What cause of suspicion? Out upon you! How am I mistooken you?
Why, alas, what's the matter?
Your husband's coming hither, woman, with all the officers in Windsor to search for a gentleman that he says is here now in the house by your consent to take an ill advantage of his absence. You are undone.
It's not so, I hope.
Oh, pray heaven it be not so, that you have such a man here. But 'tis most certain your husband's coming, with half Windsor at his heels, to search for such a one. I come before to tell you, if you know yourself clear, why, I am glad of it. If you have a friend here, convey him out. Be not amazed. Call all your senses to you. Defend your reputation, or bid farewell to your good life forever.
What shall I do? Gentlemen, my dear friend, and I fear not mine own shame so much as his peril. I had rather than £1,000 he were out of the house.
For shame, never stand it. You had rather, and you had rather. Your husband's here at hand. Bethink you of some conveyance. In the house you cannot hide him. Oh, how have you deceived me? Oh, look, here is a basket. If he be of any reasonable stature, he may creep in here and throw foul linen upon him, as if it were going to bucking. Or, it is whiting time, send him by your 2 men to Datchet Mead.
He's too big to go in there. What shall I do?
See it. Let me see it. Oh, let me see it. I'll in. I'll in. Follow your friend's counsel. I'll in.
What? Sir John Falstaff? Were those your letters, knight?
Love thee, Mistress Page. Help me away. Let me creep in here. I'll never have.
Mistress Page pushes Falstaff into the basket. They cover him with dirty clothes.
Help to cover your master, Robin. Call your men, Mistress Ford. You dissembling knight.
What? John! Robert! John!
Robert and John enter.
Go. Take up these clothes here quickly. Where's the cowl staff? Look how you drumble. Carry them to the laundress at Datchet Mead. Quickly, come!
Enter Ford with his friends.
Pray ye, come near. If I suspect without cause, why then make sport at me. Then let me be your jest. I deserve it. How now? Whither bear you this?
Why, what have you to do whither they bear it? You were best meddle with buck-washing.
Buck? Would I could wash myself of the buck. Buck, buck, buck. Aye, buck, I warrant you, buck. And of the season, too, it shall appear.
Robert and John exit with the buck basket.
Up, gentlemen. You shall see sport anon. Follow me, gentlemen.
Ford and his friends exit.
Is there not a double excellency in this?
I know not which pleases me better, that my husband is deceived or Sir John.
What a taking was he in when your husband asked who was in the basket?
I am afraid he will have need of washing, so throwing him into the water will do him a benefit.
Hang him, dishonest rascal. I would all of the same strain were in the same distress.
I think my husband has some special suspicion of Falstaff's being here, for I never saw him so gross in his jealousy till now.
I will lay a plot to try that, and we will yet have more tricks with Falstaff. His dissolute disease will scarce obey this medicine.
Shall we send that foolish carrion mistress quickly to him and excuse his throwing into the water and give him another hope? Betray him to another punishment?
We will do it. Let him be sent for tomorrow, 8 o'clock, to have amends.
Act 4, Scene 2.
Mistress Ford, your sorrow hath eaten up my sufferance. I see you are obsequious in your love, and I profess requital to a hair's breadth, not only, Mistress Ford, in the simple office of love, but in all the accoutrement, compliment, and ceremony of it. But are you sure of your husband now?
He's a birding, sweet Sir John.
What ho, Gossip Ford? What ho?
Step into the chamber, Sir John.
How now, sweetheart? Who's at home beside yourself?
Why, none but mine own people.
Indeed.
No, certainly. Speak louder.
Truly, I am so glad you have nobody here.
Why?
Why, woman, your husband is in his old loons again. He so takes on yonder with my husband, so rails against all married mankind, so curses all Eve's daughters of what complexion soever, and so buffets himself on the forehead, crying, peer out, that any madness I ever yet beheld seems but tameless civility and patience to this his distemper he is in now. I am glad the fat knight is not here.
Why? Does he talk of him?
Of none but him, and swears he was carried out the last time he searched for him in a basket. Protest to my husband, he is now here, and hath drawn him and the rest of their company from their sport to make another experiment of his suspicion. But I am glad the knight is not here. Now he shall see his own foolery.
How near is he, Mistress Page?
Hard by, at street end. He will be here anon.
I am undone. The knight is here.
Why then, you are utterly shamed, and he's but a dead man. What a woman are you! Away with him, away with him! Better shame than murder.
Which way should he go? How should I bestow him? Shall I put him into the basket again?
No, I'll come no more in the basket. May I not go out ere he come?
Alas, 3 of Master Ford's brothers watch the door with pistols, that none shall issue out. Otherwise you might slip away ere he came, but what make you here?
What shall I do? I'll creep up the chimney.
There, they always used to discharge their birding pieces.
Creep into the kill hole.
Where is it?
He will seek there, on my word. Neither press, coffer, chest, trunk, well, vault, but he hath an abstract for the remembrance of such places, and goes to them by his note. There is no hiding you in the house.
I'll go out then.
If you go out in your own semblance, you die. Oh, Sir John, unless you go out disguised.
How might we disguise him?
Oh, alas the day, I know not. There's no woman's gown big enough for him, otherwise he might put on a hat, a muffler, a kerchief, and so escape.
Good hearts, devise something, any extremity, rather than a mischief.
My maid's aunt, the fat woman of Brentford, has a gown above.
On my word, it will serve him. She's as big as he is. And there's her thrummed hat and her muffler too. Oh, run up, Sir John.
Go, go, sweet Sir John. Mistress Page and I will look some linen for your head.
We'll come dress you straight. Put on the gown a while.
I would my husband would meet him in this shape. He cannot abide the old woman of Brentford. He swears she's a witch, forbade her my house, and hath threatened to beat her.
Heaven guide him to thy husband's cudgel, and the devil guide the cudgel afterwards.
But is my husband coming?
Aye, in good sadness is he, and talks of the basket too, howsoever he hath had intelligence.
We'll try that. For I'll appoint my men to carry the basket again, to meet him at the door with it as they did last time.
Nay, but he'll be here presently. Let's go dress him like the witch of Brentford.
I'll first direct my men what they shall do with the basket. Go up, I'll bring linen for him straight.
Hang him, dishonest varlet. We cannot misuse him enough. We'll leave a proof by that which we will do. Wives very merry, and yet honest too. We do not act that often jest and laugh. 'Tis old but true. Still swine eats all the draught.
Mistress Ford enters with Robert and John, who bring the buck basket.
Go, sirs, take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master is hard at door. If he bid you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch.
Ford enters with his friends.
Set down the basket, villain. Come hither, Mistress Ford. Mistress Ford, the honest woman, the modest wife, the virtuous creature that hath the jealous fool to her husband. I suspect without cause, mistress, do I?
Heaven be my witness you do, if you suspect me in any dishonesty.
Well said, brazen face. Hold it out. Come forth, sirrah.
He pulls clothes out of the basket.
Are you not ashamed? Let the clothes alone.
I shall find you anon. Empty the basket, I say.
Why, man, why?
As I am a man, there was one conveyed out of my house yesterday in this basket. Why may not he be there again? In my house, I am sure he is. My intelligence is true. My jealousy is reasonable. Pluck me out all the linen.
If you find a man there, he shall die a flea's death.
Robert and John empty the basket.
Well, he's not here I seek for.
Robert and John refill the basket and carry it off.
What ho, Mistress Page! Come you and the old woman down. My husband will come into the chamber.
Old woman? What old woman's that?
Oh, why, it is my maid's aunt of Brentford.
A witch, a queen, an old cozening queen. Have I not forbid her my house? She comes of errands, does she? We are simple men. We do not know what's brought to pass under the profession of fortune-telling. She works by charms, by spells, by the figure, and such daubery as this is beyond our element. We know nothing. Come down, you witch, you hag. You come down, I say.
Nay, good sweet husband. Good gentleman, let him not strike the old woman.
Mistress Page enters with Falstaff disguised as an old woman.
Come, Mother Pratt. Come, give me your hand.
Now, brat her. Out of my door, you witch, you rag, you baggage, you polecat, you runion, out, out, I'll conjure you, I'll fortune tell you.
Falstaff runs out.
Are you not ashamed? I think you have killed the poor woman.
Nay, he will do it. 'Tis a goodly credit for you.
Her witch. Will you follow, gentlemen?
Ford exits with his friends.
Trust me, he beat him most pitifully.
Nay, by the mass, that he did not. He beat him most unpitifully, methought.
I'll have the cudgel hallowed and hung o'er the altar. It hath done meritorious service.
What think you? May we, with the warrant of womanhood and the witness of a good conscience, pursue him with any further revenge?
The spirit of wantonness is sure scared out of him. If the devil have him not in fee simple with fine and recovery, he will never, I think, in the way of waste, tempt us again.
Shall we tell our husbands how we have served him?
Yes, by all means. If it be but to scrape the figures out of your husband's brains. If they can find in their hearts the poor, unvirtuous fat knight shall be any further afflicted, we two will still be the ministers.
I warrant they'll have him publicly shamed, and methinks there would be no period to the jest should he not be publicly shamed.
Come, to the forge with it, then shape it. I would not have things cool.
Bravo.
Good job. Good performance.
Bravo. I was so caught up in watching that I forgot I had lines. Bravo. That's all I can say is bravo. That was wonderful. I would love to do this for real on stage with you guys. I mean, this was for real, but to like do it on stage.
No, that's just what I was thinking. Because what you can do kind of when the audience can see you, but the other characters can't. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like silent film comedy.
Lovely job. Any final thoughts? No more notes. Any final thoughts about this play, about these scenes, about your character? Any discoveries you made that you want to share? Any big questions stuck in your craw?
One
It's
thing that
not necessarily a play that invites big questions.
It's not, but we may have some questions. Jules
Yeah.
may have some questions to pass on to us. Who knows?
One thing that I think of is how bored these women must be.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Because this is
I think of that.
the most fun they've had in years.
Yeah, no, they're having a blast. I'm really glad they have each other to do this with, but yeah, they're just having so much fun. They're coming up with it as they go, and it just builds. Yeah.
And the play begins with, or early in the play, there's a letter from Falstaff to the ladies, and they think, well, I'm past all this kind of play. Am I this old and this married and this settled to be entertaining this kind of love letter now? And they take it up as a vehicle of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. It's an opportunity to have a kind of fun, and that's the merriness.
Mistress Page even says to Mistress Ford, she doesn't say this, but she implies, my husband's not jealous at all.
Oh,
so
yes.
She says, I'm as far from jealous. He is as far from jealousy as I am from giving him cause. And
Yes.
she's kind of implying, I couldn't have this much fun with my husband because he wouldn't bite. He wouldn't take the bait. You're lucky. We can have a lot of fun with your husband because he'll take the bait.
At least he pays attention to you.
Right.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm not sure if Mistress Ford and Page, I think they have an age difference. Like Mistress Page has like a daughter of marriable age,
right?
And like several children, and it doesn't seem like Mistress Ford does. So I don't know if she just never had children or if they're just different, like in different stages of their marriages, where, you know, a longer marriage, you might not be jealous as much anymore. You're more comfortable. I think that's might be part of it.
Gideon can probably tell us. There may also be, back in those days, was a man more apt to be jealous when the wife had not borne him any children? Does anybody know?
Maybe that.
I don't think there's a general rule about that. And I don't think we're told enough detail to know, but it's certainly a way you could play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could play Mrs. Page as old, at Mrs. Ford as older. Maybe the kids have grown up and married off.
Yeah.
Which makes Falstaff's ministrations all the more absurd.
Yeah.
Join us.
Hi guys. This has been delightful listening and watching. For Corinna and Michele, do you feel like these two women have had a relationship before this?
Oh, yes. Definitely. I mean, I think we're, we really are best friends, and possibly, the most comfort that we have. We may do the washing together, and chat about the children and the other people in the village. I think it's definitely a long-standing relationship.
Yeah.
Mm. Do you think they've had a chance to play with each other like this?
Not to this extent. I mean, Falstaff just presents such an opportunity. I mean, I'm sure they've had fun, but not something that indulges their ability to do improv like this does.
Yeah, I think they joke a lot, but they haven't had such an exciting opportunity to mess with someone.
Your laugh tonight together was really lovely and sparkly and just delightful. Like that was effervescent. Just that delight in the game of it all.
Even though you weren't in the same room, it felt like it
Yeah.
really felt like a shared laugh.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Todd, did anything come out for you this time around? Any discoveries?
Well, I mean, I think by the end of the second one, he's realized that he underestimated these women and they're smarter than he is. And I don't think that's something that he even considered was possible before.
Do you think he thinks they're smarter than he is, or smarter than he thought they were? He doesn't think anybody's smarter than he is. That's my opinion. I don't know that I'm right.
Well, that's what he thinks in Henry IV's, but I don't know about this. Falstaff's a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Would you agree with that, Gideon?
Yes, but I'd also remind you that he's pressed by the need for funds.
Yeah.
And so whatever he thinks of them, he's likely to be rationalizing his hopes, in winning them over. Both of them. He wants to win both of them over.
Yeah.
Because it's going to generate some income, he thinks.
And what's really funny is that he writes the exact same letter. I think they say, Jesus, it's almost like it was a Xerox if they had Xeroxes, and he just wrote in the Mrs. Page and Mrs. Ford.
Right.
And he leans in earlier to say, I love you, right? Don't confuse why I'm here in this house, just to keep it going. And he's brazen. And they recognize that he's brazen.
And Mrs. Ford says, I think you love Mrs. Page. And he says, oh my God, I can't stand Mrs. Page.
Yeah.
Right.
That ego, man.
Mistress Page says, what, have I escaped love letters in the holiday time of my beauty? And am I now a subject for them? And then she reads us the letter.
Yeah.
Gideon, has anything popped for you with this company of actors and director?
Well, what
Be
pops,
nice.
Something new. Something new.
pops for me is how good they are, and how they get better as we talk things through. It's just a rich performance, and it makes me kind of want to work on a production of the play, which I haven't done in a long, long time. So, but I would stipulate it's got to be these actors. I felt like Paul. I'd like to do this with them on the stage. It would be a lot of fun.
Todd.
Nothing popped as far as discovery in the play, particularly, except in the particular scenes and lines we were working on. But I have to say that whenever I focus on a Shakespeare play, things are popping all the time. Like, oh yeah, that's what that means, or oh, that's that use of that word, and that changes the color of the scene and so on. That's constantly happening.
Mhm.
Half the time when I'm giving notes in response to my discovery based on what you've said. The
Hmm.
other half, I'm just being a curmudgeon and correcting you, but that half is always, fun and interesting.
This is slightly off topic, but Gideon, have you worked on every play in the canon?
No, no,
Do you know how many you're missing?
no.
Okay.
I've worked on a lot, but not all of them. I mean, I could name some that I have not worked on.
Todd, day one, you said how many have you not touched? Is it 6 that you haven't touched yet?
No, it's more than 6. It's probably 11 or 12. I've got about a 2/3.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's impressive.
Yeah, I think I've got all the histories but Richard II.
Oh, that's a great play.
But hard to watch.
Yeah.
Not if it's done right.
Maybe we should, next time we get together, we should do a scene from that.
Yeah, it's got some great things in it.
Michele and Corinna, keep wanting to say Corinna. How many Shakespeare plays have you worked on in whatever capacity? And I hope nobody asks me because I don't have a count.
Oh gosh. Well, one thing is that I actually dropped out of acting shortly after I got my MFA and only got back into it about 8 years ago. So, I mean, I've done, I've worked on Othello, I've worked on Midsummer Night's Dream. Just not that many because there just hadn't been, that many opportunities since I got back. Oh, and I've also when I was younger, I did work on Hamlet. Yes.
Is there one that you're drawn to?
Me, boy, if I could do any role, I want to do Cleopatra.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. There's so many good scenes in that.
Corinna.
Corinna, how many?
I know I've done just all
Which
the
one are you drawn to?
My earliest one, my first one is As You Like It, and I still love it just because Rosalind has so much, I don't want to say control, but she has so many great lines and just is really her own person and kind of makes the show what it is. And I've just always loved that. So that'd be my favorite. But I've done all the comedies that you can do outdoors. And then the only non-comedy, I directed Romeo and Juliet a while ago, but that's the only one. So I've seen the histories, but I just haven't done much work with them and the tragedies.
Todd, is there a role that you're drawn to?
I'm actually playing it right now. Capulet.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to play Capulet for a while. I had a couple other dream Shakespeare roles, but I already got a chance to play them. So Capulet was the one. And I would say Lear eventually. Yeah.
I think you should do Falstaff in Henry IV.
Falstaff and Henry IV. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you'd be so great in it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
And I'd also love to do Queen Margaret.
Oh yeah.
In the history.
In which play though?
Well,
6?
you do the progression.
Do the whole thing. Wow.
Yeah. From the the younger new queen to the cursing hag.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cursing.
I've had friends who seriously involved Shakespeare friends who think Princess Margaret has the best arc of any character in the canon.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
A very long one, yes.
That's not a far-fetched thought, actually.
No,
Yeah.
say do it. Go after it. For
I
sure.
mean, who else has an arc like that? Hal, maybe?
Yeah, Hal has a pretty good long arc.
Full stop. Paul, to direct or act in. And what have you done? How much have you?
I'm just gonna ballpark say that I've worked on 10, maybe 12. Ballpark, without sitting here boring everybody counting them. My dream role would be Othello. I played it once in a tiny, tiny little theater in Long Island, on the border of Queens and Long Island. And once I got to understudy it at my theater home, where Todd and I trained at the Shakespeare Theater, and it was being played by a movie star, a movie actor. And I looked at the schedule, and there were 7 student matinees, 7 of them, and 3 of them started at 10 a.m. And I thought, there's no way he's going to do all of those. I'm going on for sure. And he did all of them.
Oh.
I never got to go on.
Who was it?
Avery Brooks.
No,
No?
no.
Chiwetel?
Farhan Tahir.
Mhm.
He's
Oh,
the bad guy in Iron Man.
right,
Ah, yes.
right.
But he's such a nice guy, I couldn't get mad at him. But I was thinking about offering him money to miss a show, so I could go. And I just auditioned for the Broadway one, for 2 roles, and one of those roles would understudy Denzel. I don't think they're gonna give me that role, but I would take any role in that play.
Oh, yeah.
Who's playing Iago in that?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, right. That's coming up.
Ooh,
That's right.
wow.
That's right.
Wow.
That's such a sad play.
My favorite play in the canon, to me, it's and I don't know if we have time to get into this, but I think it's an almost perfect play.
Hmm.
It's the one play in the canon where the only issues I have, it's just my personal opinion, the only issues I have are some time jumps where they're talking in the evening and all of a sudden it's morning. Other than that,
On purpose, he does that on purpose.
he does that a lot. But other than that, it's an almost perfect play.
It's interesting you say that, because the textual problems with Othello are huge. There are 2 authoritative sources, and they have hundreds of differences. So editing Othello is an absolute nightmare. Even though the main speeches are the same and consistent, the minor details vary a lot, and you have to make all kinds of choices if you're an editor, or if you're a director choosing which text you're going to use for the play. But the other thing about Othello is that it's often played ending with Othello being heroic. And what Shakespeare meant was not that. He thought of this suicide as a disaster and a tragic end. And it says so in spots in the play. And so it's rare to see it done like that, but I think it should be.
Really briefly, coming back to Merry Wives, what was something that challenged each of you in this process?
I'll tell you what challenged me, and that was keeping track of the plot, because we picked out these 2 scenes and keeping them distinct and remembering which one we were in when this was happening. That took some doing.
For me, like making sure I made sense of the prose, because even though it's not verse, a lot of it is worded in a convoluted way, or what at least at first appears to be a convoluted way. So yeah, that's a challenge.
partly how Falstaff speaks is that kind of weird convolution that it's part of the character. For me, it was partly the language being so a lot of times so different from contemporary English, but also the fact that when you have verse, it is sometimes easier because it gives you a rhythm and a tempo. And when you're just doing all prose, you've kind of got to make it all work on your own.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I
Because sometimes the
it,
verse can lift and you can float
Right,
on the
right.
verse.
It's a
But
scaffolding. It's yeah.
that's absolutely right. It's one of my normal tropes that if you get what Shakespeare's doing with the verse, you don't have to work as hard. And you're right that in prose you have to figure out what he's doing with the prose, and it takes a lot more figuring.
Corinna?
I think these scenes are just, it was tricky to do, maybe partly on Zoom, but Mistress Ford is acting. It's not, most of it's not Mistress Ford, her actual self, like she's listening to Falstaff, acting like she's interested, she's performing with Mistress Page. So it's, you're not being Mistress Ford, you're being Mistress Ford pretending to play this new game. So that was something to think about the whole time.
Whereas versus Zoom versus being on stage, it's a little more difficult.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Well, I am so pleased. I could not be happier. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you.
I think what's interesting too with this whole process is the learning of it all and the giving yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the idea that we don't have to know everything, and that like kind of opens everything up, and to like approach it with the beginner's mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that allowing the discoveries to just kind of unfold. And I think you all just did just such a wonderful job, and being there for each other and supporting each other through this process. It was really
And
lovely.
having the time to do it.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Taking this time. Yeah. Well, congratulations, everybody. And please keep in touch. And
Thank you. This was a real pleasure.
thank you to everybody, all our audience members, for joining us on this ride. And again, next month we have Macbeth. I'm going to go outside and spit 3
Yeah.
times just to be safe. I'm not in the theater, but just I feel like I can't not. But take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time in the rehearsal room.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping out, Jules.
Thanks, Jules.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
That was so much fun.
Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Todd.